Hello everybody, I am AngryBird and we're back with another Steel Division 2 League cast. We're casting the second game of Gnef versus Herr, and we're casting live on Twitch, Monday night casts, and we're seeing how it goes, casting live to Twitch, recording to YouTube, and we've got those in the Twitch chat. Watching live, and then we go talk to the guys after the game, get their thoughts on the cast, and hopefully we'll see how this goes and whether we continue this or not. But if you're not aware, we're now streaming on Twitch Friday, Saturday, Sunday and Monday, so check out the links in the description and come join us. So today we have Gnef versus Herr. We've seen the first game. Gnef pulled out a fantastic win quite early on. I think it was about 20 minutes long. And second time, we're seeing a change of division. So Gnef playing Group Arena, Herr playing 5th Viking, and a change of income as well. Herr playing Vanguard. So Vanguard versus Vanguard income, and that might certainly help Herr out. So I'm not sure. Have we cast 5th Viking before? Potentially. I'm trying to remember now whether I've actually casted 5th Viking. I don't think I have, so this could be the first cast on the channel of 5th Viking. So be interesting to have a look at their deck, have a look at Robert's deck and how he uses the division. In terms of Gnef, he has the PE3s in A and B phase, again similar to the ME410s, with those anti-tank rockets that will certainly help out his anti-tank game. But I think Arena, we've seen a couple of games of them, and they're very more quantity orientated division. So we're going to see plenty of T34s. It looks like B phase, I mean not quite 0Q, but B phase it looks like we've got 12 T34s, and C phase another 12 T34s, and then 12 combined in A phase with the Comrotties on top of that. So a fair few T34s. It looks like a few SU-85s as well. So I guess we'll see how quantity goes in this game. Let's have a look at Herr's deck. So 5th Panzer, I think this is the first time we've seen them, and we've got those BMW recon units in B phase. So it looks like that's to pair up with the SK-18s and the LEFHs. Interesting choice to put those motorbike units in there. Fairly well-rounded infantry deck, and the infantry can certainly shine against Group Arena, that's for sure. And plenty of Panthers in this deck as well. 2 Panthers in A phase, and is that 9 Panthers in C phase, 9 or 8? I can't quite read that on my screen. And then 10 Panzer IVs in B phase. So I think Herr Robert's going to bring out those early Panther A's and then look to hold them throughout B phase. Oh, he's using the Jagdpanzer IVs as well in B and C. So yeah, he's using the Jagdpanzer IVs to supplement his heavy Panthers. And yeah, we'll see how he gets on with that approach. In terms of 5th Viking as well, they do, I think it's just cut off the bottom, but they do have the Focke-Wulf 190 anti-tank rocket plane, and it'll be interesting against Arena. I mean, I'm not quite, I mean, they have the numbers more than anything, so it's going to be interesting whether the numbers, those anti-tank rocket planes, it's surprising that they're kind of like against single-use tanks, so they're great against like single big IS-2s or Panthers, but against hordes of T-34s, there's just not enough of them really. So yeah, this will be an interesting little battle, and I guess against a large number of T-34s, Herr Robert's going to be relying on those Panzer IV H's to do the job for him in B phase, and potentially the Pak 40s and the Jagdpanzers and the Panthers. Actually, Gnef could be in for a real hard time here, because there's a lot of heavy tanks that those T-34s are going to have a difficult time penetrating. Now I'm looking at the decks, I'm feeling like if Herr Robert gets out some of these heavy tanks and maintains them on the field, he could well have a fairly decent time of this. Right, let's have the game is underway. Let's have a look, and wow, look at the 3-plane recon start from Gnef with the IL-2KRs. Very interesting strategy. And Herr, he's looking to attack in the centre as well, so it's going to be interesting who wins out that battle in the centre. I think Gnef is trying to use the ILKs to help him out in that early attack. He unloads a couple of units there early, but will that be enough? A fair bit of investment with these IL-2KRs. 55 points apiece, so that's at least 150 points. I guess it's not the worst start, but it does unload a fair few troops early, and remaining troops coming in, the Flammenwerfs and 1 Panzergrenz. I still think he can hold this approach. So yeah, I think in the north we've got the Ognamachiki coming quite far forward, followed up by the Strelki DP, but the Ognamachiki are going to go down, and these Strelkis, they need to unload the Panther, the early Panther A on the field, coming under fire from the ZIS-2, and Herr's going to need to keep that in play. He is reversing it away from that ZIS-2 and will just reverse it out of cover. The IL-2KRs coming in and strafing the MG42 there. So Gnef relying on these ILs, but Herr responding with 3 Gepards, so he certainly doesn't want a repeat of the previous game where we had those ME410s coming in and taking out his heavy tanks. We've got another ZIS-2 and an M45 gun, plenty of anti-tank guns, and actually quite a reserve start from Gnef. He's kind of brought in quite a lot of these anti-tank guns. He's set himself up a defensive line, and he's then going to, I guess he's then going to try and launch attacks off the back of that defensive line. So these IL-2 planes, they're still sticking around, and I think he's going after the Panzergrenz in the centre, and if he takes those down, then he could maybe swing a flag, but no, he's now taking them out. And Herr bringing in the mortar half-track fairly early, so it looks like he's going to concentrate on pushing back into this central town. That could certainly do a fantastic job if he manages to push through there. We've got the Stug in the southern central area currently engaging the M42 45mm, but it's out of the APCRs, and the AP shells, they won't really have a great deal of penetration chance, so I think the Stug's going to win that in the long run, potentially with the help of the Stug in the north as well. Yeah, the M42 gun goes down, more Strelki DPs coming in, and Gnef bringing in the WC52 KAO off map, and yeah, he's going to look to target these forest areas, and it's not going to do a hell of a lot of damage, but it could continue to delay any attack coming in from Herr. Potentially it will give him enough time to bring those Strelki DPs up on foot and potentially retake this central flag. We're at a 12-12 at the moment. Neither side really making any strong gains, but Herr certainly starting off a lot better than he did in the last game. Down comes the off map. I believe that was the off map coming down. Yes, it is the off map coming down. Unfortunately, with the replay being on an older patch, and we don't get to see the off map as it's placed, so you only see it as it's coming down. But yeah, I mean, well, it took down one of the Flammenwerfers, and it's pinning down one of the Panzergrenz, but really not a massive effect. I guess maybe, you know, he's going to put another 2 of them down, and all 3 combined might have a decent effect. In comes a PE3 strike on the Stug, but fails to take that one down, although the ZIS-2 gun, no, it's not really in the best position, although it is in a nice position to target any vehicles coming past this junction, you know, this tree line. Down comes, I think, a second off map, and here Robert's having to retreat his Panzergrenz. That's giving the flag over to Gnef, and Gnef picks up the 13-11 lead. So potentially, is this the start of Gnef pushing forwards once again? The Panther A in the northern side, it's not really done much since it had to retreat from the ZIS 2 gun. The WC-52KO moving position and repositioning and looking to probably target this forest back here, and smoke coming in from the mortar half track surely, and covering the attack forwards from Herr Robert. He's pushing in a hell of a lot of units here with the 2 Panzergren Führers and the Stug 4s backing him up. One of the new units, the Stug 4s, new in Death of the Vitsjar. Oh, and down goes a T-34 to the Pak-38, bailed out. Incendiary in the back, and that Pak-38 could take out the one in the back as well. Loader killed. Will it give Gnef time to reverse? Just enough time to reverse, but that T-34, yeah, it does go down now, and really no heavy armour on the side of, well, no armour really at all on the side of Gnef at the moment. So maybe he's going to bring a hell of a lot more in B phase. He has a combat further up north, so potentially he could be looking for the northern attack, but I feel like he doesn't have the units up there to launch an attack. Perhaps this combat in the centre area would be a better position to help buff up his infantry against the obvious attack that's coming in from Herr Robert. 2 mortar half tracks now in the centre. Is that the mortar? Sorry, no. That is the BEF commander. So Herr Robert bringing his commander into the central area. So both players using their commanders. And potentially that's a difference between Group 1 and some of the other groups. The use of commanders perhaps could make the difference in those tight infantry fights. Gnef takes a second flag in the centre now, gets the 14-10 lead, will win in 30 minutes time, but it's very tentative at the moment. Here Robert's got a lot of troops in this central ground. He pushes forwards the Panther, and Gnef, he's got the 352Ps, but nothing else in this central area to stop that Panther. So that Panther will certainly he'll certainly have an easy time taking on that Strelky DP unit. And here Robert just kind of settled in the south, and in the central area he is pushing forwards Panzergrenz, and along with the Panzergren Führer buffed up by the BEF commander, this could be a decent attack from Herr Robert coming in. Flammenwerfer coming in as well to support. And I think it's all going to come down to this central attack. Can Gnef resist this central push from Herr Robert? The Flammenwerfer comes in, expertly unloads just at the right point, forces the Strelky DP back, and Herr Robert pushing forwards with the Panzergrenz makes up some more ground. The Sapari PPSH won't be enough to hold back the forces, but the Sturmoviki certainly will do a much better job with the HE Satchel Chargers and the 7 PPSH. They're kind of like the Avto Machikis on steroids, or the Avto Machikis combined with the Sapari, but currently then finding themselves not in a fantastic position. They're out of cover. They do lob in the Satchel Charge, but is that enough? No, it's not going to be enough. They do get pinned down just before, and the Sturmoviki, they're currently being saved by the Strelky Komrotti, but only one of them remaining. They do finally go down, so beautiful play there. The way that Herr Robert's using his Panzergrenz, sticking to cover, and yeah, he's pushing forwards very well. In comes the T-34-85. He's got the mortar. He's got 2 mortar half tracks now, and he's going to use those mortars to take on the units, and we've got a bit of a furball at the back. Weapon jam on the Ju-88G1. Herr Robert won't have liked that. The P3 comes in and this time does take out the Stug 4, but will that Ju-88 be able to get out in time? I have a feeling it will, because it is a fairly decent resilience, medium resilience, so that should get out if Herr Robert gives it the falling back order, but he doesn't, and it's going to allow the Yak 9T a second chance to come in on the back, and it does go down now. So I feel like Herr Robert made a mistake there. He could have fallen back that Ju-88, and I believe it would have survived. Gnef has pushed forwards into this forest, but 2 more Flammenwerfers coming in from Herr Robert, along with a Panzergren and a Panzergren Führer. Yeah, those strokey DPs are going to go down. The mortar half-track coming in with the mortar shells from distance. I believe that's the mortar half-track coming in there. But those strokey DPs are going to get forced back, and they're actually going to get forced back over open ground as well. The Stug 4 might be able to pick up further shots, although it's also in tackling with the M42 gun down the road. And Herr Robert's picked up this central flag in the town, and then this central flag in the open. We're back to a 12-12, but Gnef targeting this top side, potentially looking for the charge of the T-34s in the top, and also in the centre he's brought in 5 T-34s, so it looks like he's going to make a play at some point. But Herr Robert, he has the tanks on the field to deal with those T-34s. It's going to be interesting how Gnef proceeds at this point. I think he's got to rely on taking this Panther A out. He's got 2 Zis-2 guns engaging. Oh, sorry, it is bailed out. It is bailed out. And yes, that's going to give his T-34s chance to actually push forwards. They've got to worry about the Pak 3850, but Gnef actually could make a fair bit of ground in this northern side. I think if Herr Robert doesn't manage the attack well, he potentially could push forward the T-34-85, but, you know, Gnef has the Zis-2 gun there, so there is potential for Gnef to make ground in that northern side. I think Herr Robert's kind of slowly building up his forces. He's reallocating a mortar further up north. He's brought in 2 LEFH 18M, so I feel like Herr Robert's happy with the 12-12 right now, and he just wants to build up enough forces until he's got sort of that overwhelming composition of forces to take on Gnef's units. The Pak 3850 starts engaging the first of the T-34s, and Gnef looks like he's pushing forward his attack. He has the snipery moving out into the open. It's going to spot the Pak 38 that's now pinned down, and continuing to fire on the Panther A's. Now he's given them a fast move order, potentially to get closer so he can actually take out that Panther A. And these T-34s pushing forwards, Herr Robert's not got a hell of a lot of units right now to deal with them. The Jagdpanzer 4 and the Panzer T-34-85 in the north, potentially all that's here for Herr Robert to use them, although he does have the Panzergren with the Panzerfaust. Will he be able to get a shot off? Those units just stopping just in time. It looks like we are going to get a Panzerfaust. Yes, Herr Robert takes them off the return fire. The first one goes down to the tracks broken. He will retreat them. Hopefully they will stay alive. No, they go down to the onslaught of the remaining T-34-76ers. So Herr Robert is giving him just enough time to bring in a second Jagdpanzer, but another P3 coming in, targeting the first one. Will that go down? No, it does survive. That's important for Herr Robert to keep that alive. Another Pak 3850 coming in. The earlier one repositioning. That could do a decent job of taking these T-34s out, although they are going to be fairly close by this point, so they will be able to get a lot of fire down on that Pak 38 once it opens up. I feel like this attack in the north is going to be where Gnef makes or breaks this game. If he can push enough units into this northern position, he could well pull out the victory here. They are starting to engage the Jagdpanzer. They do fall that one back, but the Pak 38 Surely, yes, that is engaging now. Does get the Spalling and the Destroy on one. There's only 2 remaining in position. Driver kill on the other, but the Pak 38 does go down now. There's 2 of them remaining. Gnef needs to bring in more of them into this northern position. But surprisingly, he doesn't have further reinforcements coming in. He has the 122... He has the 122 artillery pieces, but the final 2 go down, probably to the Pak 38 and the Jagdpanzer. And Herr Robert's brought the Stug 4 Führer, the Panzer 4H. He's now, you know, he's got the tanks in position to, you know, stave off any further attack. And finally some reinforcing infantry comes in, but it's kind of a bit late for Gnef, really. Kind of strange that he was making a hell of a lot of ground. He could have brought more supporting infantry into this northern side, but he didn't really commit. I feel like he didn't commit fully to that attack. Maybe he could have, you know, he's got these T-34-76s in the central area, with the T-34-76 Komrotti as well. You know, maybe he could have repositioned further north and used those along with the other T-34s. But yeah, I feel like he didn't fully commit to that attack. And now, you know, a lot of those T-34s, what I think there was at least 6 of them have all gone down, and that's a fair point investment. You know, 45 points apiece. You're talking 300 points going down. And Herr Robert's, pretty much all of Herr Robert's forces are remaining. He lost a couple of, he lost an AT gun, he lost an MG42 and a Panzergren and a Panther A. But that was about it. I mean, he's now got the reinforcing tanks in, and he's looking, I wouldn't necessarily say he's looking strong. I mean, certainly Gnef, well, he is looking strong, I mean, but Gnef's not out of this. He can take out the Jagdpanzer. I mean, Gnef's got the 1410 right now, although he's probably going to lose this central flag, and I do feel like this northern one is going to go down as well, but it's still going to be a 12-12. I just think over time, if Herr Robert continues to maintain his heavy tanks on the field, then Gnef is going to struggle to take them out. We saw how difficult it was for him to take out that northern Panther A, so I feel like the longer this game goes on, the worse it is for Gnef, despite them being on the same income. It looks like Gnef is choosing to use his B-phase income to bring in the 122mm artillery pieces. Potentially he's just looking to break down Herr Robert's positions. Herr Robert, he has a pocket of forces in this central town, and he doesn't look like he wants to move forward, so potentially Gnef's just going to look to artillery that, you know, destroy Herr Robert's forces and then walk up, and potentially he's just looking for the 1311 and he's just going to turtle his way to victory. But Herr Robert is pushing forwards with the Panzergrens. He's dropped some smoke, and you know, he was potentially seeing how far he could get, but he's having to withdraw those Panzergrens back. But he's certainly re-secured this northern side. In comes the BMW R75 that we pointed out in the early deck preview. So he's going to use that in combination with the Elliott FH-18Ms. Excuse me. I would think that he's using that just for the radio there. Yeah, the way he's bringing that in right behind the forest, he's using that just for the radio. And wow, look at Gnef bringing forward the 3 PEs. Looking to target these Jagdpanzers. The first one doesn't really do anything. The second one doesn't do anything. And the third one, wow, doesn't really do anything either. So I guess he stemmed the attack, but those PA3s so far, they're not getting the kills. But they have forced back the tanks. The Panther A in this central side though, it is completely unopposed. If Herr Robert, I mean, Gnef has the Zis 2 gun covering from here down south. And he has some T-34s potentially covering this central round. But if Herr Robert pushes this Panther all the way along this stretch here, there's nothing really to take that Panther out. So potentially that's an avenue for Herr Robert to push forwards. I mean, he will not know this. He won't be able to see this, but this 2 gun up north, I mean, it's really the only thing kind of holding this open area from Herr just waltzing through with his tanks. So we are 12-12. We're back to a 12-12, but Herr, he is looking fairly. He's looking stronger, I feel, of the two. Gnef committing more infantry to the north, but he needs to find a way to take out these heavy tanks. And I mean, just look at the front line. Surely Herr, all he's got here is a Panzergren, and just look at the way that Panzergren is affecting the front line. Surely Herr is going to realise there is just nothing here in the centre, and we could just see him push forward with his tanks. I feel like if he does it, Gnef won't be able to stand up. Right, it looks like Gnef is going to attempt a second attack in the north, although he's got Strelky DPs pushing forwards ahead of his T-34s that he's now brought in. They're all pushing forwards into the line of these Jagdpanzers, and they need to unload. He's lost 2 in the transports. The others do unload, but these Jagdpanzers in this position, they're kind of preventing Gnef from pushing forwards, and he'll have to take them all the way around the top side if he's going to make any progress. Artillery now coming in from the LEFH 18Ms, and Herr, he's got a few of them up. I feel like that artillery is going to start to wear down this position. He doesn't know it, but as soon as he takes out this IS-2 gun, there's going to be nothing holding this central ground back. He is now starting to probe. He's starting to probe forwards with this Jagdpanzer 4, and I feel like he's going to make it in the long run. The ME-30 is engaging. It does take out the Jagdpanzer. So it was engaging there with the, I believe it was engaging with the heat shells. Yes, of course it was. With the 160mm penetration, so I have discounted that unit actually up to this point. So he does have that M30 there as well. But I mean, Herr has the artillery. He knows that that unit is there now. So surely he's going to be retargeting. Yep, there we have it. His artillery all retargeting into that M30. So that M30 won't last long. It looks like Gnef pushing back through the centre with some T-34s as well as his supporting infantry. 2 of them have gone sort of down in the rear, and Her's got the Panther A and the Panzers kind of held back. He's lost this position, but I feel like it's not going to be too long before these T-34s go down, and Her's just going to walk back into the position. So we have the Flak 43 actually engaging, and probably the Panther A took down that T-34. It's reversing down the road, but it's still in line of sight. There goes the second one, and yeah, Herr, he didn't even move his Panzergrens. He did not even move his Panzergrens, and just retakes the position. So Gnef's attack in the centre falters once again. His attack in the north, I mean, it hasn't even really started. The artillery's coming down on these positions, and Her's slowly pushing his way up, and I feel like it's getting close to the point where Her's just got enough on the field that he has that overwhelming force. And I've noticed this sometimes watching Herr play. He doesn't often go for the early vanguard attacks or the early, you know, Gonzo style, you know, do or die early phase A pushers. Herr, he likes to bring his units onto the field. He likes to use combined arms. He likes to set up his units to a point where he can build up to an overwhelming force and then just push through. And there's the surrender by Gnef. Wow, I did not expect the surrender coming at that point, but I guess you heard it in the commentary. We were starting to talk about this overwhelming force that Herr was building up, and yeah, Gnef called it a day. He clearly thought he was not going to, you know, beat the 5th Panzer. So congratulations to Herr. He picks up the victory. 24 minutes 4 seconds and 1,800 kills to 1,200 losses. So very decent kill death loss ratio, not quite as impressive as Gnef's in the previous game, but Herr returning the favour and picking up the victory against Gnef this time. Let's have a look at the kills. So the Panther A taking out the 252Ps and 3 T-34-76s. So I'm not sure whether that was the one in the northern side or whether it was the one in that central area. But yeah, that Panther A, certainly it did a great job there stunting the T-34 attack. And you know, Herr, he just used those Panthers perfect, exactly the way they're supposed to be used. Just set up, engaging at distance, and especially with the 2-star veterancy, you know, those Panthers can be a fantastic, well, I mean, they are a massively great heavy tank. So used correctly, the Panzer T-34-85 taking out those 52Ps, and I think those 52Ps, they lack those heat shells. I mean, I know against a Panther they aren't really going to penetrate, but those heat shells, they can certainly stress out the armour. So I think they kind of lack that a little bit. A lot of them went down to the armour on Herr's side, and in that central area, Gnef had those 352Ps but no anti-tank guns, so they were weak to armour, and Herr, he had the armour in place. The Jagdpanzer IV there, beautiful work. This was the one on the northern side, I believe, stunting that attack forward. Yeah, Herr, he just built up enough forces to a point where even Gnef thought he wasn't going to make any progress. I think Gnef, he clearly saw the writing on the wall and gave up much earlier to try and push a bad position. I feel like if Gnef hadn't surrendered, that game could have gone on for another 20, possibly even 30 minutes, and Herr, you know, I would have probably put 95% chance on Herr winning that. So, you know, Gnef throwing in the towel early, yeah, it's not, I guess it was probably the right call at that point. So thanks very much for joining us. We recorded this one live on Twitch, recorded for YouTube. I'm going to come to the Twitch chat in a moment and discuss with you guys what you thought about the game, whether you think Gnef could have done anything different, or whether you think Herr was always going to win that one. If you're watching on YouTube, thanks very much for joining us. If you enjoyed the video, click that like button. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, and also check out the links in the description for my Patreon and also Twitch. We're now streaming on Twitch as well, and we're currently trialing a Monday night cast. So this was cast live on Twitch as part of the Monday night cast, where we're going to cast some Steel Division League games, and yeah, let me know what you guys think on YouTube as well. Thanks very much for joining us. I am AngryBird. I will see you next time.